We have seen way too many great games show up onto the scene and then die after only like a month, and I'm sick of it, dude. Developers continue to make this one stupid mistake, which single-handedly drives away almost everyone from their games after a short amount of time, and we need to talk about it. Stick around to the end so you could let a dude yap about dead. Like the term dead. It's used in a hyperbolic sense, but I still see some people online argue like, oh, no, that game's not dead. It's like, dude, if a game was pulling over 100,000 players and then all of a sudden it barely pulls 10K, most people would consider that dead. Same thing if a game was literally at 0 players. The term still applies relatively, and that's just the reality of how the word is used by people. Boring. Let's talk about specific games that have already died. The Finals. This game is going to be everything, dude. A new fresh off the grill FPS game with its own unique style, but I mean, we have to be Fortnite or we're not going to win. Now, unlike a lot of other free-to-play games, you can actually unlock a fair bit of stuff in the Finals, but why is the developmental focus swaying so heavily on these stupid-ass cosmetics? I mean, just look at their YouTube channel. Why is this your priority? This game, when it dropped, had essentially 2 fucking modes and like 4 maps, and since then, it is now 5 maps, 3 modes. Oh, but you can bet your ass that cosmetic shop's getting updated right on schedule every 5 minutes. Like, why? I actually really like this game. It might be my favorite one on the entire list of games that we're going to talk about in this video. I'm just going in chronological order. But it's just, why? I'll tell you why. They must have just wanted their game to die after 1 month. Multiversus, oh my god. This game came out, died, they took it away. Then they brought it back like 2 years later. And then it died again. But for our next trick, who in their right fucking mind decided that the Bugs Bunny game needed a premium shop and a battle pass? Right off rip, this game goes into this mental category for me. Like, everyone in the back of their heads looks at this shit and goes, yeah, ain't nobody playing this shit after a month. They just reaching while they still can, bro. And uh-oh, the game is free to play. You know what that means. The bubonic plague is spreading, and it's now affecting the actual gameplay experience. When this game released, like the second time, you were only allowed to unlock 1 character. Everyone else you could play was on a rotating cycle of 3 characters at a time. And your second character takes approximately 39,000 decades to unlock. So in other words, dead after 1 month. Alright, but now what about some games that aren't actually out yet? You know, we've got a lot of betas for different games that have been going on recently. Marvel Rivals. Oh, this game is hot. Some people were saying it's an Overwatch clone. And then they came around. Now, the beta for this game was actually a lot of fun once I found a character that really resonated with me. I mean, it's far from perfect, but the game actually has a really good chance to succeed. And you could call this pure pessimism, what I'm about to say right now, but I'm just sat here wondering if they're gonna go, Marvel Rivals is free to play. You know what that means? Fish, you get 1 character to play at launch. Whoa! And absolutely nothing when it comes to progression. Also, we're not gonna update the actual real content that matters, like new characters and maps, but you already know you'll be getting new paid cosmetics every week. So that's what might happen, but hopefully they don't actually do that. Because if they do, the game's probably just gonna die after 1 month. 2XKO. Now this game is sick. Riot sat down and was trying to make a fighting game for people who don't play fighting games. Cool idea, right? Wait, who is this one made by again? I guarantee you all these palette swaps are gonna cost money when the game comes out, and you could bet your sweet ass all the little clothes you're putting on your man's gonna cost money too, and the battle pass gonna keep you addicted to this shit if you buy it. Honestly, pretty standard schlopper stuff. Though it is pretty hard to fuck up a fighting game because you either fight bitches or you don't. No one really expects anything else because most of the time single player content in fighting games sucks dick anyway. Is the inevitable free-to-play shit gonna hurt this game? Sure. Limiting progression, not just when it comes to cosmetics and hiding things behind paywalls, always sucks. But I actually don't think it'll matter that much with this title specifically because everyone already knows who Riot is compared to these guys. You don't know who made this game. You don't remember the name of the studio. No, you don't. Don't lie. I think an important thing that people absolutely have to realize is that this corpo schlop FOMO bullshit keeps games at the top, but it most certainly does not bring a game there. If a game is made by a company that's already made a name for themselves over the years and they're at the point where they could literally put out any game you could possibly imagine and have it be played by a shit ton of people, then this shit can work. Otherwise, you need to quit fucking around. Because even if you do amass a large sum of players at your game's launch because you decide to go free to play, how many of those players do you think are actually going to make the permanent swap to your game and not stick to the games that they're already locked into? Dead after 1 month. Oh yeah, that Shroud right there. Now this game actually pleasantly surprised me with how fun it is. Shit, W Shroud, dude. Like the game is trying too goddamn hard to be Valorant. It's almost embarrassing, but it is fun. Like imagine if this game releases for like 15 to 20 bones and actually defies the odds and makes all their cool cosmetics into a progression-based system that makes the gameplay itself feel more meaningful and enjoyable and actually makes you want to continue to play the game. Yeah, that'd be cool and would actually probably better support the smaller audience of the game by keeping them around for significantly longer, since it's obviously not going to be as popular as a game like Valorant, but for some reason we insist on formatting our game exactly like them, is probably the thought process that's going on, or something like that. You know, I wonder if they're also thinking that their game's going to be dead after 1 month. Your move shroud. Splitgate 2. Now, I hated Splitgate 1, but Splitgate 2, I get to walk around with a shotgun that's called the Plow in all caps, while mindlessly running around and shooting people. It's very therapeutic, actually. You know, it'd make a great game to sit below someone's TikTok as they're talking as stimulation brain food, and that's actually a genuine compliment from me. It's interesting enough to keep my attention, and I don't have to think very hard while playing it. Does it possess a lot of raw fun? Not really. That's why you didn't see me make a video on it, at least not right now. Perhaps if the games I were playing actually felt as though there was purpose to them, or I was working towards something, it would feel a little bit better, because even though it's just a beta, obviously, I'm sure they won't lock every sort of progression-based thing behind a paywall, directly and negatively impacting the experience of any free-to-play player by direct comparison to those willing to draw money on the game, which will in turn cause most people to subconsciously or consciously view the game as yet another partial frill cash grab attempt, causing everyone to forget about it after 1 month. Well, that was just rude. How about I give you $30 for your Portal game and we just call it even?
Oh, bitch, you can bet your chrome-plated ass this game ain't gonna let you do shit unless you got them Eddies.
Dead after 1 month.
I don't know. Deadlock. You see, I'm not too worried about this one either because, like I said, this whack-ass shit keeps you at the top. It doesn't bring you there. Hence why I think these two are actually going to live potentially. It's because these guys are already at the top. So if Deadlock has all this garbage, yeah, it'll just keep tens of thousands of people chronically addicted. What's so wrong with that?
Dead after 1.
Nah, probably not. So we've got games that have died because of Fortnite disease, games that could die, and games that probably won't die because they're already going to be popular as fuck by default when they come out because the company that's making them is so massive. So, does going free to play make any of these games actually better? No. What? No. And I'm not a Valve glazer, but we actually just don't have any evidence to support that this game is actually going to have free to play shit, so move! Disclaimer, if you've made it this far, you might be thinking that, wow, this Toko dude is a mad negative. What the fuck? But what you also need to absolutely grasp is the perspective that I'm seeing these games through. I have tried and seriously loved every single one of these games, and I have also watched and am most likely going to watch all of them be put into the incinerator and die. What would truly be negative of me would be recognizing this inevitable fate that all these games are going to have and sitting idly by and doing nothing, or worse, actually playing into this disgusting malicious practice. I imagine it's been close to a year since I bought any sort of in-game cosmetic macro transaction, and I'm not fucking changing that. It's not a badge of honor like fucking Boy Scouts or some shit. I just, hey, you know, I'm credible like that. I'm credible. Ain't no hypocrite in this house, bro. Straight cum. Divine taste. I am not the one who is negative. What I'm doing is pointing out the negative business decisions these companies keep making, because if we're not Fortnite, we're not gonna hit it big, right? You know these games don't stand a snowball's chance in hell against these guys at the top. And most of the people developing them probably know that too, actually.
Well, not every game is trying to be the next Fortnite, obviously.
Then why the fuck would you format your game like it? All you're doing is negatively impacting the player experience as well as driving away all your players. After 1 month. Hey, I like to think that me pointing this stuff out is actually making a positive difference. If any dev of any game being worked on right now is watching this, you have plenty of irrefutable evidence to suggest that you don't get shit except a lot of money at the start, followed by a fucking cliffside of obscurity. Your game doesn't and probably shouldn't be trying to compete with these psychos at the top. So stop formatting your games like you're trying to. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
My pre-com. Oh. Why did I just say that? Give people a good and honest product and you will be rewarded for that, and could potentially solidify yourself as a gaming legend in the space if your game is truly something special. Games are an art form. You can't just make your art and then be like,
ooh, well, it looks like Da Vinci hit this corner behind a paywall. Yeah, and to get that frame, you're gonna have to complete a battle pass. Yeah, and it looks like the colors will come in next season. Yeah, we should do that. Yeah.
No, actually, you don't have to, like, do that. You don't you don't. Okay, well, the whole shit just... You don't have to do that. Like, I imagine most people watching this video right now probably just view this as your average everyday video game format nowadays. But you know what I think? I think this is the format where games that aren't already at the top go to fucking die. A conveyor belt of inevitability that too many games think will bring them success. Again, these games are all so fucking good. In my opinion, if you disagree, that's fine. But could you imagine how much cooler they'd be if the devs shifted away their focus from stupid-ass live service cosmetics, made it so that everything was at your disposal to collect at any time once you've purchased the game, as well as none of the other dumbass shit that directly seeps into the gameplay and literally makes the game itself worse. That would actually keep people interested in the games for longer and make them, more importantly, more fun. The real counter argument to this entire video is green. Money. Even Da Vinci made his art for money, but even still, he was an artist. I don't give a frog's fat. Swearing is bad, that's why I don't do it. I seriously don't care if you're rolling in money after the first week of your game coming out because you got all the schlop pasted onto it.
Yeah, who cares if the shit costs $1 million? All you gotta do is sell one and boom, you're a fucking millionaire.
If you willingly choose to sell the soul of your art for immense monetary gain only for the first month of your game being out, then you ain't no damn artist, fool. Use a bitch. Unless you're being forced to by higher ups at your company, which absolutely sucks. You have no control over that, or other unforeseeable circumstances that absolutely 100% force you into following the ways of that guy. But seriously, there's no fucking way that that was the reality for all of these games. I don't buy it. It almost always feels like a conscious decision from these developers to just shill you out of your money instead of delivering a full, fulfilling product. I get it. Video games are a business. Businesses need to make money. And that's why me is looking at you, and I'm trying to make you realize that any motherfucker that puts this in their game, you should be looking at that and going, ew. I hate Chuck E. Cheese, bro. Because it's weird, and usually I would tell you, that's you, to stop playing into this sort of stuff, but I also understand that it's especially hard when these motherfuckers have min-max selling you worthless pixels and convincing you they're actually worth something or that something is a good deal. Like, I realize it probably shouldn't be on us in the first place. So game devs, sure, they got paid at the very beginning of their game's launch, but it certainly wasn't the magic they envisioned when they sat down to truly make something special, and you know that. So I'm kindly asking that less game devs take this deal with the devil. Stop imitating and start being something true and fulfilling, and you will be rewarded for that. Unless your game just fucking sucks. And if you want to argue the games are a medium that are meant to be consumed for a period of time and then people move on, that's a valid point. For games that aren't formatted like this, why the fuck would they format it for live service if it's not meant to last? Comment a game that would be 1,000 times better if it weren't trying to cash in on the successes of Fortnite's successful model. I said successful twice in that sentence, but I like that burp, so I'm not going to retake this. Like and subscribe or you will die
in 1 month.
in Minecraft, don't worry about it. Although I must mention this outro, I'm stripping all the color from it. You're only going to get one annotation to click on, and the rest will be in the premium shop. You're still getting the outro for free though, so I mean, as long as you're cool with that.